Welcome back to the forge. Last time we made a nail header, so this time, unsurprisingly, we're going to be making nails. Now, I'm not going to be doing this at the usual breakneck speed the blacksmiths tend to make nails at. I'm going to be stopping at various points and talking through any tips and tricks that you might need to make better nails. So, let's get into it. Right, so what do we need for making nails? Well, in addition to your forge, your hammer, and your anvil, you're also going to need a piece of 6mm round bar, preferably long enough so that you can hold it without tongs and it's easy to manipulate, the nail header that hopefully you made last session, and a hot cut hardy to go in the hardy hole to cut our nails off with.
First, we're going to take our bar to the near side of the anvil and place around 1 centimetre on the anvil face. Bringing our hammer down so that it straddles the edge of the anvil, with half of the face on the anvil and the other half off, we'll do a slight set down. Then we turn it 90 degrees and do a set down on the other side. The thickness of this set down should be the same as the hole in our nail header. This will produce a step in the material. From here we need to taper the step into a point. This is a little trickier than when we were discussing tapering in my round punch video. See over there. Before we start tapering, we'll always have one of the 2 shoulders we've just made facing downwards and locked into the anvil near edge. Then we'll tilt our hammer and strike down. As the taper gets thinner, the hammer needs to be in line with the end of the taper to ensure that we get a nice thin end. Otherwise, the far edge of the hammer bounces off the anvil face before it can contact the steel. When we think that the taper will fit in the hole in our header, we'll give it a test fit. The taper doesn't go all the way through the header and up to the shoulder yet, so we need to taper it a little more. With a little more tapering, we'll give it another test fit. Here, we're looking for it to go all the way up to the shoulder and the taper to fit snugly into the header. If it's too loose, when you form the head of the nail, it can easily fall one way or the other, and this makes getting a nice even head more difficult. Now that we're happy that the taper fits well into the header, to make a more even head, I like to bring the taper into the centre of the bar again. We'll place the shoulder on the face of the anvil, and with the centre of the hammer face, strike the transition between the taper and the head very gently while rotating it. This is the point where we'll start forming the head. We'll place the bar over the hot cut hardy with around 1.5 centimetres of full thickness material over the blade. We'll then use gentle blows while rotating the bar. This will cut evenly on all sides of the head. When we're nearly through, we'll bend it at almost 90 degrees to the parent bar. We'll place this back in the fire with the taper of the nail upright to avoid burning it. This orientation also ensures that the head is plenty hot enough to spread it easily. Now, place the taper up to the head into the header. A quick twist detaches the parent bar. Placing the header over the pritchel hole, we'll strike straight down to establish the head. Then, we'll switch to tilted blows to give the faceted face characteristic of medieval nails. We'll flip it over and gently knock it out. If we hit too hard here, it can buckle the nail and it will get stuck in the header. And there we have a hand-forged nail. If it's a little wonky, that's okay. They can always be straightened out when cold. But the more practice you do, the better they'll come out. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more blacksmithing tutorials, there'll be a video popping up over on the right now. If you'd like to support the channel, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. And for even more support, there is a link to the Patreon in the description below. Until next time, see ya!